Hey everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you clicked on this video because I have a really cute little craft that we're going to do today and I can't wait for you to see. If you're brand new, please be sure to subscribe. I love to do all things with my Cricut and with my embroidery machine, and I also love to do some sublimation. So be sure to stick around and see what is going to be coming to my craft table next. So in this video today, I'm really excited because these turned out so cute. So I'm going to show you how to make these super adorable little lipstick or chapstick holders. Actually, they're more for chapstick because they are on the shorter side, and they're so cute. So we have a little clasp up here for a keychain, and then we have a little snap right here. I chose a little heart one because I thought it was just adorable, and so that will snap open, and inside there is a tiny little pocket where you can put your little chapstick. So cute and so easy. So this is an in the hoop project, which means all we're going to do is hoop some stabilizer, and we're going to do this entire project from start to finish in the embroidery hoop. So very easy. If you are a beginner within the hoop projects, this is definitely a good project for you to start on. We're also going to add the snap with my snap press right here. I have the Cam's snap tabletop press and I really like it. You can choose any type of little snap you want, but again, I went with that little heart one because I just thought it turned out so cute. So in the description box below this video, you will find links to all of the things that I'm using today, including the faux leather I decided on, and then also the pattern faux leather. I really like the idea of putting a pattern on that little pocket. I think it just adds a lot of visual interest and it makes it really fun. So go ahead and have some fun with that little front pocket because it's a really fun way to dress it up even more. So be sure to check out that description box below. You'll see everything that I'm using. And other than that, let's get started. This is so cute, so easy, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so these in the hoop little chapstick holders are so easy to make. They're so fun, and they're really easy to personalize with any type of faux leather that you would like. So I decided to do a white leather for the back and the inside, which you'll see me do because I'm going to replicate this for you today. And then I used this really pretty woven light pink for the front little pocket, and then I have a little heart plastic snap that I'm going to use to obviously attach the front and back together, as well as a little clasp right here, which is going to be the little keychain. So those are the materials you're going to need, but I'll run through them real quick individually. So I have my Mighty Hoop here, and it is ready to go with just some stabilizer. So all I did was hoop some stabilizer, and that's all we're going to do to get ready for this project. In addition to that, what we're going to do is I printed off my little design from Embroidery, and when you print off from Embroidery, it prints off true to size, which is really helpful when you want to get all of your little pieces all cut out. So I was able to reference this to see how big I needed my pieces. So I needed 2 of these long white pieces of faux leather. This is going to be the front and the back. And then I needed a small little piece here for the little pocket. So again, I just referenced what I would need in terms of size here. And I believe in the directions, it also gives you some actual dimensions if you want to do it that way as well. So I have 3 little pieces of faux leather that I'm going to use. And then I have my little keychain. I got these on Amazon. I'll link them down below, as well as all of the materials I'm using, including the faux leather and the styles of faux leather that I have. And then I am going to be using some snaps that I got from Cam Snaps. These are the size 20 extra long snaps. It's important that you do get the extra long snaps because you need a little bit longer of a length to go through the 2 layers of the faux leather. So that's what's recommended. That's what I went ahead and went with. I actually have really been enjoying my Cam Snaps, so I went ahead and made quite an investment and got a lot of different colors, and I'm really excited. I'll show you my snap press later in this video if you haven't seen it yet. Other than that, I like to keep a lint roller on hand just to clean up any little threads that may come off while stitching, and then also just a pair of basic scissors. And this is going to be helpful at the very end when we complete our project after we take it out of the hoop. So this is really easy. Again, it's an in the hoop project, so that means everything is going to be created in the hoop, and then we're also going to be using the snap press to get our snap placed on our little keychain holder. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the embroidery machine. Again, I just have stabilizer hooped, and we are going to do the placement stitch. And again, the placement stitch is just going to basically give us an outline of where we need to place our first piece of faux leather. Okay, so it did our placement stitch. It's a little hard to see, but it is there. So our placement stitch is there, and it is just gonna show us exactly where we need to place. There we go, that's a little bit easier to see. It's gonna show us exactly where we need to place our first piece of faux leather. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my first piece of faux leather, and I'm gonna make sure that that covers my stitch. So I'm going to just reference it, make sure I peek the top and bottom, make sure everything is covered. And I'm going to be using my embroidery tape. It's Kimberbell embroidery tape, and it's wonderful. It's very, very amazing for applique as well as in the hoop projects, just to secure your project and make sure it's not moving when you are stitching. Okay, so I have my first piece of faux leather placed right there. Now the next step is we are going to start stitching out the rainbow, which is why I had that green thread first. So I had the green thread loaded first because that's going to be our first one. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then you're just going to see me do a few thread changes so I can begin working outwards on that rainbow. Okay, so this is how it is looking so far. How cute. And you can change the thread colors as you wish so that the rainbow looks just like you like it. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to turn our hoop over, and you can still see that placement stitch as well. Looks like I have a couple threads that I am going to need to trim really quickly. And just the really long ones. My bobbin, I needed to change it real quick, so everything got a little crazy. But the next thing I'm going to do is take my second piece of the white faux leather, and I'm going to do like I did on the front and reference that placement stitch and design, and I'm going to make sure that that next piece covers it completely. On the back side, I like to use just a little bit more tape just to make sure, since it's going to be upside down, that it doesn't move at all, as well as I don't want it to snag on my free arm, so I'm just going to go on all four sides just like this. Okay, now we can take it back over to the machine. I'm going to change my thread color to white, and now it's going to do the next step, which is securing the front and the back, and it's going to stitch around the perimeter and create the shape and outline of our holder. Okay, so now you can see that it has stitched around, and that has secured the front and the back together. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to place the little pocket on the back side of the hoop so that we can actually create the little holder that we'll place the little chapstick inside of. But before we do that, we need to add the little snap. So you want to do this before you place the little faux leather on the hoop. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to move this away. You have to be careful with your mighty hoop around electronics, so I'm always mindful of keeping that far away from my computer. Okay, so I have my faux leather here. I'm going to turn it over and grab the, since mine is a heart shape, do you see how mine is a little heart here? I want this to be on the outside, so I'm going to use the opposite one, and this is just a circle. And I'm going to place it right in the middle on the back side. See, this is the pretty side, on the back side of my faux leather. So I'm just going to find the center there. And I have a little cutter on my snap press, but I find it pretty easy just to push this through, just like so. Okay, so you have it pushed through just like that. And then we're going to take one of the inside pieces, either the male or the female. It does not matter as long as they are opposite of one another. So here's the inside pieces. One is male and one is female. And you're just going to pick one of them. As long as they're opposite of one another, it doesn't matter which one goes on this piece and which one goes on the next piece. So I'm going to place that right on there, and then let me grab my snap press and we will get that pressed together. Okay, so here is my cam snap press, and I have everything I need all loaded in. I'm going to take it so that it is the flat side down. So I'm going to turn it over just like this, place it right inside of my press. Okay, and then I'm going to press down. Make sure it stays. Okay, and press down. Okay. And now that is installed right there. So we have that side and that side. Okay, so now it's ready to go on the hoop. So now I'm going to turn my hoop over, and you will notice that, let me put it this way. You're gonna notice that it's hard on mine to see because I chose white for my little thread color for my finishing stitch, but there are some little placement stitches. They go this way. So one goes this way and one goes this way. And that is to give you a reference mark for where you need to line up your little pocket piece. So I'm just gonna see where those stitches are, and you will see these perfectly on your project. And I'm just going to line those up appropriately. Okay. So I'm just going to cover them, make sure it's all nice and straight. I'm also making sure that this little piece right here is straight and aligns perfectly like this, because this is the part we're working on right here. We want to make sure this is right in the center because this piece is going to come down and then snap shut. Okay, so you don't want to have it off center or it's not going to attach well. Okay, so that looks good to me. I'm just going to use some embroidery tape and secure that down. Again, I'm going to use a little bit more than I need. If you're worried about the snap catching on your machine, I have seen some people actually place a piece of tape over that, so you can take that step too if you would like. I'm just going to make sure everything is taped down. Now this tape can be sewn over, so don't worry about it if it's in the sewing field. Okay, but now that is all ready to go. And now we're going to go over to the machine and just stitch this last part, which will secure the pocket to the rest of the holder. Okay, so we have the back here. So it's underneath the hoop. I'm just going to place my hoop back onto my machine. And we'll do the last stitch. And then I'm just going to peek under my machine, make sure nothing moved. Make sure everything's still secure. And then we'll stitch. Okay, it is completely done. Now I'm going to go ahead and unhoop my project because it's completely finished. So I will take my mighty hoop apart, take my project out. Okay, and now I can take all of the tape off, and then we will get that torn away from the project, which is so easy, and I'll show you in just a second. And I like to use a lot of tape. Honestly, I find that it's cheaper to use a lot of tape than it is to waste faux leather by making a mistake. So you can use as much or as little, but I find that it is better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather waste tape than faux leather. Okay, so that's all taken off. A couple little pieces lingering there. Okay, now I'm just going to simply tear my tearaway around the perimeter of the chapstick holder. So I'm going to literally just pull, getting as close to that stitch line as I can, but it really doesn't matter if you don't get very close at all. It's going to be hidden in there. Okay. And then the next step is just cutting around our little stitches. Okay, so this is our project, and now we simply need to cut it out. So I need to trim a little thread here, just clean it up, and it's just 2 little snips, I think, maybe 3. Super easy. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to trim about a quarter of an inch outside of that final thread. Okay, so I'm just going to use some regular scissors. I have found they work really, really well. I'll link my scissors down below, but I've been using them on all of my In the Hoop faux leather projects and I really prefer them. So I'm just going to be careful, take my time, and just go around that stitch, being careful not to get too close because I don't want to cut my stitches, then my project won't last. There we go. And then our last little step is going to be just placing that second snap on, which is so easy. And I'll show you the little adapter piece to cut through the faux leather because this is going to be 2 layers of faux leather now. So it's going to be a little too hard to just push this through. And so we'll use the little adapter or accessory. Okay, so there we go. You can clean up any little edges that you'd like, but that's it. Very, very easy. And it's almost all done. Okay, so go ahead and take the opportunity to save any scraps that you wish to at this point. And now we will get the snap press back out and put the little heart snap on there. Okay, so here's my snap press. I'm going to grab my little box of goodies here, and I need to get this little accessory, which this is what is going to punch the little hole through my faux leather. So I just need to place the base on there, just like this. And then I'm going to unscrew my top piece. This is what was attaching my snap together. And I'm going to place this little piece and screw that into the top. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. And I actually don't screw it all the way in, because if I screw it all the way in, I notice it doesn't puncture all the way through. So you'll kind of have to play with it to see how much or how little to screw that in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to locate the center of this, and I'm going to place a little hole. So I'm just going to visually find the center. And I kind of place this down a little bit just so I can kind of get an idea of where it's going to go. And punch down. Okay. There we go. And that did a good job. So now we have a little hole there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place my little heart piece right through the front. Okay, and then I'm going to put the opposite side, can't remember if this is male or female, but it's opposite of the other one we used, and I'm going to place that right over, and we're going to get ready to press that. But first I have to put my other pieces back on, so I need to take this off. Okay, place the base and the press piece back on. Okay, and now I am all ready to secure my snap. Okay, so then again, my heart is on the front, my other piece is on the back, which is opposite of this piece, and then I'm going to place it heart side down. Make sure that my heart is not shifted or anything, and then I'll press down. There we go. And now it is all ready to go. So now I have my snap, and it snaps right in. So easy. Okay, so now the other thing we need to do is we need to put our little keychain on there. So again, I got these on Amazon and I'll link them down below. but I'm just going to place that right on there. And then now we have our little chapstick. I'm just gonna place that right inside this little pocket. Okay, just like this. And then we can snap it shut. And there we go. How cute is this? So cute. And these would make really, really fun Valentine gifts, teacher gifts, just little girlfriend gifts or anything like that too. I really love them. I'm gonna put them in my kids' little Valentine Day gift basket, and I think they're going to love them. So I love this idea. She has a lot of, the designer who made these, she has a lot of different designs too. So go ahead and check her site out. I'll link her site down below, as well as all the materials that I used. But I think this is so cute. I love the addition of this a little heart snap. And then I also really like the idea of using a different pattern for the pocket. I just think it really adds a little something fun and a lot of visual interest. So I hope you enjoyed this because I think they are so adorable.